Watch list. Now, 30,592 breakout. Even if you were not a fan of this and you're not in it, you didn't take it, whatever it is, totally okay. Don't chase it. Other entry criteria I have is 30,623 or 737.72 for calls on QQQ at the open. Just wanted to start with that so people aren't going, oh man, I need to be getting into this now. You don't enter unless it's at your desired level. All right. So let's go over this. So I want to see a breakout for calls, even if you don't like this, even if you're not in it. I would like to basically see, let me show you real quick. I would basically like to see this range, if we can hold this range. So if the market opens up, comes down and bounces 593, I want to try to take that for calls. If the market doesn't come back to 593 and just starts to rocket, but let's say we open up at 616, I want to try to take 30,623 for calls. That same zone is here on QQQ. That's that same zone. All right, guys. So that's what I want to be watching for. Now, with the market having gapped up and forming new highs, this is the gap over the weekend. With the market now forming this gap, what I want to be seeing here is essentially if this area, it's not an order block, I just drew that rectangle, but if this area where we're rejecting constantly, if it forms as another rejection, confirming possibly a gap fill day. I don't think we would gap fill close down here, but we could gap fill, bounce, and then rally, right? That's very common when we're making some pushing into the strength like this, especially on Mondays. So wouldn't be surprised if that happens. If that's the case, I'll be looking for a breakout for puts. What I have listed is 30,536 or 735.55. So quite a big range here, but that's okay. That gives us some time for the trade. At the open here, keep an eye on Tesla as well. It's right there. NVIDIA, if it flies through this, it's going to be quick. If it flies through, NVIDIA is going to fly through. QQQ will fly through. Call it out the fastest I can. Got a lot of buyers on volume footprint. Price is rejecting this though. Let me put this up. Well, NVIDIA, I'm in calls, NQ calls, QQQ longs, guys. She's at 625 and at 625. Make sure. All right. 30% profit here on QQQ. Taking another trim right now, everybody. Identified before the trade started to take off. A lot of buyers on the print. All right. A lot of buyers on the tape here. It's a pretty obvious trade here. Again, like I said, if you're new, just wait, watch. You guys just saw that. That was incredible, right? Literally incredible. Pre-market folks, you've gotten almost 100 points here. You had 84 points profit. Go ahead and draw this out. That's 40 points, 80 for pre-market if you're still in. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous, man. Right at 62 points in that next trim. All right, 63 points profit. We've already caught a big trade. Don't get greedy here. NVIDIA's at pre-market high. Okay, that's 100 points for your pre-market folks. 62 points. Now I'm personally going to wait for 100 points profit for my next trim. Okay, line up with my next level. Perfect. Look at that. These levels work like gold. All right, volume is getting a little tricky here. I can't tell if it wants to reject. Personally, I can't tell right now. I'm going to have to wait this out, but there's no problem waiting something out so heavily in profit. We just simply have to be patient here. If you are not willing to give up 60 points of profit, everyone, look at your open P&L right now. If that open P&L would upset you, make you very angry, if you lose it, this is where you take your full profit. You sell your last contract. If you are not saying that, if you're like, James, I have an open P&L of $90, I could care less if that went to zero because stop losses are now at entry. If you could care less if that stop loss or if you lose their open P&L, then we hold. This is where we hold because we're looking for that 100-point move based on the strong volume. But we're prepared for a pullback because 30,692 resistance area, NVIDIA is at pre-market high. It could reject the zone based on that overextension of that 5-minute candle. Have it going in both directions here. It's too hard to tell right now based on volume what it wants to do. It looks like it could go either way. So I'm making a safe decision. I got my stops at entry. I've sold the majority of my position. I will leave a very tiny sliver behind for that last 100-point push, or it comes all the way back to the entry, stops me out. I will still be completely satisfied because this was a massive trade with essentially zero drawdown. So beautiful trade, clean call out, clean execution. Pre-market trade was a banger. Live call out was a banger. Supporting volume behind our trade as well, right? We have, as you can see here on the volume footprint chart, we have 298,000 on the buy. That flip, what I watched on the flip there, which is why when we got in, when I signaled it, once it dipped right at the open, it dipped, okay? Down, that's when all these selling volume pressures came in, all right? As it came in there, what I personally saw was that volume start to reverse entirely. So, hold on, let me type this out. I personally saw was around 120,000 on the buy. So right when it dipped, there was around 120,000 right here at the point of control. Then as we reclaimed and we started to push back through, right? Because we entered right after this candle flipped red to green, essentially. It jumped from 120,000 to about 250,000 on the volume footprint. Order book level 2 orders were coming in at the ask, like one of those obvious get into calls signals, okay? When I say obvious, it's very easy to read on the order book, really easy to read on time and sales, and it was apparent on volume footprint chart as well, because many times it's not that apparent on the volume footprint chart. Okay, deal. We are pushing up. You have another chance to take your full exit up here. You want to be concerned because the previous candle, we had a negative red delta. So you want to be concerned, okay? You just have to ask yourself again, are you comfortable giving it all back? If you're not comfortable giving it all back, this is where you take that full exit. There is zero FOMO. You do not have FOMO on trades like this. You say, hey, I decided to take a full exit at 40 points. I'm done. I decided to take a full exit at 60 points. I'm done. Things like that, right? So that's just what you want to be telling yourself and how you want to play this out. And if you're like, hey, I don't mind if I give it back, then you sit in the trade. All right, we've hit 85 points profit currently. 85 points, just waiting for 100. 85 points, just waiting for 100. Contracts are moving well. It's 85 points profit. We just hit 92 points profit. Hopefully my educational explanation there was good for you guys. The fill on the 738 calls was $2.30 a contract. That was the fill on the calls. I tried to call it the fill on NQ as fast as I could. What is this for the pre-market guys? 125 points and 90. It's freaking awesome. Over a 100-point trade for you pre-market guys. Congratulations, man. Congratulations to you guys. Let me open up the Q&A really fast here. James, I ended up taking NVIDIA calls actually this morning. I've been enjoying trading the single tickers quite a bit. Whenever at the last second that you mentioned NVIDIA looked like it was primed for that breakout, and if NQ decides to fly, then NVIDIA is going to fly. I find myself enjoying trading NVIDIA quite a bit. Every single time we've had it on the watch list, I've managed to catch a winning trade. 100% win rate on NVIDIA over the course of 3 months. Decided to pivot at the last second. NVIDIA, however, was not part of my game plan until you mentioned it. Did I make a bad call here? I'm curious how I would have felt had this been a losing trade. Ended up being a completely massive trade for me, though. I went a little bit further out the money, made over 100% of my contracts. Tough spot, man, because you took a winning trade, so it's hard to say it's a bad trade, right? You got to be careful here. We're rejecting this. Got negative delta again. More sellers up here. Point of control. It's forming as resistance. We need a lot of volume to get to this PT. We definitely need a lot of volume. I don't have enough of a position to trim again. I have to just truly wait for a stop at entry or that 100-pointer. That's what I got to wait for. But what are we seeing happen that I was concerned about? That NVIDIA pre-market high rejection, right? That's what I was concerned about, and that is what's happening. So just something you need to keep in mind. Otherwise, though, this is quite the massive trade. We really sniped this thing. My opinion. It wasn't part of your game plan, but you got preps and you were able to take it in time. In my opinion, this is really sketchy close. So what I was trying to see here, if it was going to retest QQQ's pre-market high, look at that Delta exchange. That is incredible how fast it's moving. Oh my goodness. It's scary. So what I'm trying to see is if it retests 649 or QQQ's pre-market high. That's the only chance we have to save this trade. It's the only chance. And NVIDIA bounces this 209, right? That's the level I was talking about, primed for a breakout. So we're watching here to see if this bounces this zone. Just trying to do it now. Good. Come on, Delta. I need you to flip red to green. So this is a legitimate move. If I can't get this green Delta flip, then it could easily reverse at any second. There we go. Come on. Keep pushing through here. Beautiful. All right. I'm just going to scale out here, guys. 90 points profit. $3. Oh, right there. $3.84 on the fill. $3.84. I just got filled on QQQ. Absolutely beautiful. Again, not a lot. Don't have a lot left, but it is what it is. Still extremely excited about this trade. All right, so I got mine at 90 points. So I'm obviously not trimming at 100 points. I should hit it now, though. Obviously, it looks great after I sold. Boom. 100 points profit based on game plan, execution, live call out, education, prepping the pre-market. And you guys got that added bonus on top, which was what? I was able to identify that possible order flow reversal. Again, I had no clue. I was just making an educated guess, essentially. But I'm saying we got to be careful because of the red negative delta on the first trade, combined with NVIDIA at pre-market high and an overextension. NVIDIA might have a possible chance of rejecting. Sure as hell enough, it did. Sorry, but it did. rejected that level. Boom, then we come back. As we come back, though, what do I say? Literally right before it happens, I said our only saving grace for this trade is if we come back and bounce this zone, bounce this area, and we can hold 30,649 or pre-market high. And look at how damn close it got. And then sure enough, and I mentioned how NVIDIA wanted to bounce 209.05. And sure enough, what happened? Bounces, holds, flips. Then I said we need that positive delta flip in order to confirm this move. Red to green, boom, thing flies, 40 points profit. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. It's a beautiful, literally completely amazing. So essentially 2 trades here, okay, or 3 trades. You have your market trade, which should have been on your own because I just posted it in the watch list. It's not like I was on the live to signal it, just to clear any possible confusion, okay? I was not signaling this down here. This is something you would have got in on your own if you saw it on the watch list and decided to take it. All right, 100 points. What a beautiful trade. What a great way to start the week. Short week, too. All right, 100 points profit, baby. Oh, no. Whoever that was, I'd stay far away from them. If they said they're selling some of their SpaceX IPO stock, the pre-IPO, they said pre-IPO, they're a fraud. They cannot. Lockup period. Nobody's allowed to sell their pre-IPO SpaceX stock. I believe Elon Musk, because he's a numerologist, he said 368 days, lockup period. And then he said they're only allowed to sell the stock if the stock is trading at a 30% gain. That's it. So if the stock's only at a 20% gain 1 year after IPO, nobody that got the pre-IPO is allowed to sell. So I'm not a gossip, but this individual that you used to follow as a day trader, I don't care how popular he is online. That would tell you right now he is a fraud, at least pertaining to SpaceX stock. Or you can give him the benefit of the doubt and he simply just doesn't know. He will know though when he tries. He'll learn. But hopefully if somebody was fortunate enough to get the pre-IPO, they're supposed to usually have to sign something. So he should be aware that there was a lockup period. They make that very, very apparent. Anybody buying a pre-IPO, because then there would always be a classic pump and dump, right? It'd be like, yeah, let's IPO, let's hype it up. Oh my gosh, you bought in at 35 and we opened at 135, sell the whole thing, let's go. And then everyone who pre-IPO'd would make money and everyone who bought retail after the fact would get swept. It's called a rug pull. So people it became very popular in crypto. So because of low liquidity with meme coins. All right, so here's the deal when it pertains to this. I sold my last position. Anything past this is very negligible in terms of my ROI gain. I have 25 contracts left, full transparency, 25 contracts left with QQQ. I'm just going to write it out every level. Okay, so 130 points, I'll scale out. 30,800, I'll scale out, etc. Okay, I'm going to go level. That's pretty much it. All right, but for the majority of us, you guys should be fully out of the trade. Majority of the people in here, you should be majority out. If you took about the retest intrigued you and you entered anywhere below 30,691, okay? In my opinion, you should have a majority exit already. All right, a majority exit. You can still have a runner, but you should have a majority exit, meaning more than 3/4 of your position has been sold. Again, I would say to be confident in the trade if NVIDIA was stronger, if NVIDIA could be more confident, but it's not. So NQ is leading the market here. NQ is leading the market on its own. All right. AMD ended up working beautifully too. Sorry, I didn't have this up. AMD ended up working out beautifully as well. Saw a lot of you guys typing about that. Rocket of a trade there. It's absolutely, and I know the contracts were expensive, guys, but it is what it is. So contracts, the ones I selected, at least the 540 calls. Damn it. How much are we going to push? I'll explain. I want to teach for a second, stock market. All right. I'm going to scale out again real quick on QQQ. $4, just a little bit. $4.22 a contract. All right. Or 432. All right, there we go. 432. Got that push. There's 130 points. That'd be 155 in the pre-market. It's pouring rain here. All right. Gorgeous. What was I saying? The contracts. Yeah, so you would have built $1,680 a contract, somewhere around there, $1,680 a contract. It's gone all the way to $2,915 a contract. So I'm sure some of you would have bought further out the money contracts when you saw those prices. But based on the ones I saw, that's moved quite well, for sure, quite well. So it's a 75% gain on AMD right there. Stops should obviously be at entry on that. All right. All right, so here's the deal. Both Tesla trades, worked out. They were just short-lived. So you had the breakout for calls at 413 on Tesla. Again, these single ticker trades would have been your own. I did not signal them. You had that breakout on Tesla and then 409.63. You had this breakout for puts, right? Both short-lived, both worked, but short-lived. Up getting that full reversal. When you see setups like this is where you start to see the benefit of scaling out of a trade at 20%, bringing your stop loss to entry. If you're a 2-to-1 R trader, this is where you could get burned because you could see 30% profit, 35% profit, wham, pullback, stop you out. 30% wham, pullback, stop you out. And you need to be willing to accept it because you know just as equally, there are go to 50% profit, pullback, 50% profit, pullback, full profit target. So, because looking at these, look like you would have been able to hit 40% profit, at least in the 415 calls that I selected. So pretty risky there, right? And not the puts. How did the puts move? Yeah, this wouldn't have to be in the position to tell me, but it definitely would have been close. So that's something you need to be keeping in mind. All right, as you're taking these trades, if your setup fails, okay, and something just doesn't work, don't sit there and go, "This sucks. I'm not doing it anymore," right? Because that's a reality. That can take 2 breakout trades, and both trades could put me good in profit. I could be well in profit. Again, 35%, 30%. I could see that. Oh, man, I'm up $600. We're almost to plus 800. Let's go. Negative, same thing. Up, take the next breakout. Okay, double top rejection at 414.77. Tesla looks beautiful. Let's go. I'm taking the breakout of the pre-market low. That's where we bounced it earlier. Now we should flush it and fail aggressively. Double bottom bounces the level. Back into the range. All you need to tell yourself, though, is if you're following proper risk management, you took your entries where you wanted to take them at, and you hit your max daily loss limit for the day, 2 full-size losing trades, resulting in negative $800. Now you know the next day, if you winning trade, you recover both of these losses, right? So Tuesday, you could be back to break even. Wednesday, you catch 2 winning trades. You're up $1,600. Thursday, you catch a loss, 2 losses. You're down 800. Week up $800. What I need you to see is by the end of the week, we got to trim again here on QQQ. $4.91 a contract. All right, 170 points profit. 170 profit. Let's go, guys. Still in the trade. Great job. Anyone that's not, you took your full exit anywhere. In my opinion, you did a great job. I don't need to retype that. I want to clog the screen. Oh, what would that be for the pre-market folks? 200 points for pre-market folks. Okay. Futures traders got it made, huh? Trade whenever the hell they want. I'm sure the futures traders felt sorry for us options guys this morning. They're sitting there 40 points in profit while we're like, do we enter? Can we do this? James took the pre-market trade, got my 40 points profit, called it a day, decided to, what you say is log off on the mouse, decided to just pay attention. This is the first time I was able to sit here and actually watch a massive trade played out that lined up with my exact confluence as well. Everything you were talking about, I completely agreed with. I did also see the volume flip on the volume footprint chart. I'm still not entirely that good at reading order book level 2 and time and sales. I was watching as carefully as I could, but it still seems very fast for me to read. However, I'm very glad of my growth. Not once did I feel like I needed to turn my mouse back on and jump back into the trade. Extremely happy with my profits on the day. Able to get my first payout today. I've been trading with you for 3 months. That's incredible, man. Especially in 3 months. That is a massive amount of emotional maturity development in 3 months. I just got to say, I don't know what your starting point was, but to me, that's the goal. The goal is not to make money. Okay. That's the product. The byproduct of trading is being emotionally mature, calm, cooled, and collected, and having proper risk management and trusting your system. The byproduct is making money. It's kind of inevitable. If you have a good system and you have good emotional control, it is, I would say, almost guaranteed that you're going to make money long term. Just like no matter how system you have, if you are a highly emotional trader, it is almost guaranteed you will lose money long term. You might get some big wins, or some not big wins really, because you'll be emotional, but you might get some wins here and there, but your losers will far outweigh your winners. If you're sitting in that position currently, well, it's because of the lack of emotional control. We can probably pinpoint that as the good one. Good day. All right, everybody. Massive win. Try to post this later. Do was it Thursday's giveaway or giveaway? Yeah, Thursday's winner. I'll announce when I make the post. See y'all tomorrow.